Today in Shinobi Striker, we're going to be doing a full detailed weapon review over the brand new Ninetales Claw SS Plus attack type weapon. And we're going to be finding out if it's worth spending your scrolls on it, or you should wait for the other SS Plus that are going to come out soon. So without wasting any more time, let's hop right into the video. This is the avatar intro for the weapon, super cool as you can see. First, we're going to be going over light attacks, and to do those is square for PlayStation and X for Xbox. For the first light attack, you slash the opponent diagonally 2 times. For the double light attack, you add a horizontal slash from right to left. For the triple light attack, you jump up into the air and launch all 6 tails towards the opponent, piercing them. For the quadruple light attack, you fully transform and then launch towards the opponent, slashing them horizontally from right to left. Moving on to the aerial light, where you hit the opponent with a flash kick. For the double aerial light, the character spins around, slashing the opponent with the tails horizontally. For the triple aerial light, you transform, launching towards the opponent and slashing them diagonally from bottom to top. Moving on to heavy attacks, and it's triangle for PlayStation and Y for Xbox. For the heavy attack, you go on some Ichigo timing, dashing around and hitting the opponent. And this attack is amazing. It's practically instantaneous. As soon as you press it, there is really no animation. You just teleport and hit him. It has a 99% win rate against charge attacks. As soon as you see the opponent charging at you, do it, and 9 times out of 10 you get the first hit. Moving on to the double heavy attack, where you transform and slash the opponent from top to bottom with both claws. Now, there's a cool thing about the heavy attack in this weapon. If you land a hit prior to you using the heavy attack, you will see a tailed beast bomb logo on top of your health bar. What this does is, if you press heavy, it will launch tailed beast bombs towards your opponent. So it's really just replacing your heavy attack. To get it is quite simple. Either use the double heavy or light heavy combos. The more attacks you land before hitting that heavy attack is going to give you more of the tailed beast bombs. Now, I'm not really sure what the names are, but the maximum you could get is 5 of the pink ones and 2 of the red ones. And if you still don't understand how to get them, I'll leave a little indicator on the left side of the screen under each combo, just for you to know which combos do give these tailed beast bombs and how many do they give. And for the aerial heavies, they're all exactly the same thing. Moving on to combo attacks, where you mainly want to utilize your light and heavy combo strings. For the first light heavy, the character transforms and slashes the opponent from right to left horizontally. For the double light plus heavy, the character just slashes the opponent 3 more times while transformed. For the triple light plus heavy, you transform and slash the opponent 2 times horizontally. Moving on to the aerial light plus heavy, where the character hits the opponent with a flash kick, then proceeds to transform and slash the opponent 2 times. And for the double aerial light plus heavy, the character just slashes the opponent with the tails before hitting them with a transformation slash. Moving on to the charge attack, which can only be done if the circle around the opponent turns into a scarlet red. For the charge attack, you launch towards the opponent and slash them diagonally from right to left, and you deal a long stun. And the stun in the air is going to be a drop down, which is always amazing. It's a decent charge attack. It has nothing special, it's just okay. And before I go ahead and rate this weapon, I just want to let y'all know that if you want any other weapons like the new Pain SS Plus, the new Tobirama SS Plus, or even the Sasuke SS Plus, let me know in the comments and I got you. And the first category that we're going to be rating is going to be damage. And the damage for this weapon is good. I wouldn't say it's anything crazy, nor that it's bad, it's just above average. The individual attacks themselves are quite mid, but when you combine it with the tailed beast bombs and the DPS of this weapon, it starts getting really good. And what I mean by really good is it's simply better than what it leads off. But still, in a real game, it's probably going to be okay. Like I said, it won't make you feel like you're dealing no damage, but it's not going to make you feel like you're draining opponents' HP. That's why I'm going to give the damage a 7 out of 10. However, if you know how to use it, it could honestly be more. The issue is that some of the attacks you actually need to do something in order to obtain them, and in that time you could low-key just pop a pill and deal more damage. And if you didn't notice, I'm talking about the tailed beast bombs and the requirement to actually obtain them. It's not necessarily a bad thing, however it does lessen the value of the attack itself, which at least in my eyes is an amazing thing, so nobody can just spam it. Moving on to speed, and the speed for this weapon is amazing. The individual attacks are really fast and really responsive, and when you combine them, the DPS is also really good. Everything just flows smoothly in a fast pace. I think it's really good, and speed is definitely one of the best categories for this weapon. And that's not mentioning the heavy attack. Like I said earlier in the video, the heavy attack is able to counter 99% of the charge attacks of any weapons. It's basically instantaneous. As soon as you press the button, it activates with little to no animation. This attack by itself, at least in a comp sense, is amazing, and it's worth getting the weapon for. Although it's pretty hard to pull off, as some people have faster tracking abilities, so you're gonna need the reaction time of a Souls player. Luckily, I play a bunch of Souls games, so I'm pretty accustomed to the faster reaction type of thing, so it honestly works out perfectly for me. That's why I'm gonna give speed an 8 out of 10. There are just a couple attacks that aren't really fast. They do flow into the combos really well, they're just not objectively fast. Moving on to range, and the range for this weapon is really good considering it's an attack type weapon. Most attack type weapons have no range whatsoever, nor do they have good reach. However, this one is a different story. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, it's not like a range type's range, but it's still really good. The individual attacks, at least some of them, have really good reach, the others have okay reach, and for pure range it does amazing. The tailed beast bombs have really good range and tracking, which makes up for its lack of projectiles. However, they're not easily accessible, which is a blessing, as I mentioned earlier, so people don't abuse it, but when you do get them, they're really useful. But that's why I'm gonna give range a 6 out of 10 for an attack type that's really good. Moving on to combos, and the combos for this weapon are really good. Not only do they look good, they actually perform well. They have decent stuns, decent damage, you know, they're kind of reliable. The transformations look beautiful, and the animations look really good too. You also get tailed beast bombs. It's all really good. I'm gonna give combos a 7 out of 10. And I would have given it much higher if it simply had some other SS Plus features. You might be like, SS Plus features? What do you mean? I'm talking about the special animated dashes, which in all honesty all SS Plus weapons should have. I don't understand why they would use normal dashes when they could give us some really cool stuff like the Minato weapon and the VR Masters. It just gives the weapon a really unique feel and make the weapon a whole lot more fun to use. It also has a limited combo moveset. They look cool and stuff, there just isn't enough, and that's why I think a 7 out of 10 is fair. Moving on to the weapon's reliability. The weapon is quite reliable. You have long range attack, close range attacks, hard hitting attacks, really fast attacks. All in all, it has pretty much everything. The issue, like many other weapons, is that it does those things but at an average level. So it's a jack of all trades, a master of none type weapon. And I'm not really complaining, you know, just stating it out, because I feel like a weapon is better to be good at everything instead of being really good at one thing and just completely buns at something else. That's why I'm gonna give reliability a 7 out of 10. And last but not least, user friendly. And honestly, this weapon is super easy to use. You can pretty much learn everything in this weapon really fast, other than the timing for the heavy attack. If you want to counter like charge attacks, that takes a bit of skill and timing, but other than that, this weapon is pretty simple and easy to use. That's why I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It pretty much complements newer players and gives veteran players something to practice on. So I think it's a decent weapon overall in terms of learning it and getting good with it. And finally, for the overall rating of this weapon, I have to give it a 7 out of 10. There really isn't much to say, it's just a good weapon, an SS Plus definitely, however I don't think it was anything crazy. And to answer the question from earlier, is this weapon worth getting? And with all honesty, I don't think this weapon is worth getting, especially if you don't play attack and Naruto isn't your favorite character. I see no reason to get this weapon. However, if you do main attack or you want a competitive advantage, then you might want to actually check it out, because like I said, the heavy attack is insanely broken. It also has other competitive advantages, so I think it's worth checking out. And I think this weapon isn't worth more than 100 scrolls, so if you pull it in like 200, I don't think it's worth it. There's a lot of other SS Plus that are going to come out, so I think you might want to hold on to your scrolls. And that pretty much concludes today's video. So if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, I would highly appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. As we're so close to 8,000 subscribers, each and every single sub would truly make a difference. So I would highly appreciate it if you would consider doing so. Anyhow, y'all stay safe, take care, and peace out.